Welcome to Soil and Soul, a new Christian podcast for those who want to invest in yields that count most. 5 days a week during planting and harvest seasons, Soil and Soul looks to help you sow seeds and reap a golden harvest.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soil and Soul. I'm Aaron Lords, and I'm today's host on another episode of Tradition Thursday. And today, as the weather is getting quite nicer, at least right where I'm at, in fact, it's supposed to be like 85, I think, today. Sun's shining, and I got the tulips are popping up really beautifully at home right around our house. And I know we're far enough along in April that a lot of people are really eyeing their gardens and flower beds and other things like that they want to get going. And the farmers are certainly in the field if they haven't already been for a week or two. And I think just the overall spring appeal has definitely changed from a few weeks ago when it was quite awfully cold, honestly, in much of the Midwest. So now with that in mind, I think a good saint to talk about today is Saint Fiacre of Breuil, and that's a town or a commune in France. I believe I'm pronouncing that right according to Google, but the spelling definitely does not look like that of Breuil. Anyway, Saint Fiacre is the patron saint of gardening and gardeners, which as my mom here is getting ready with her garden, and my wife has a few different herbs and pots going out right now. It's just been something on my mind, and I'm like, well, this would be a perfect saint to talk about. So Saint Fiacre was an Irish monk and priest back in the 7th century, and he was raised in a monastery, eventually became a priest, and he was really called to the solitude and the silence. He wanted to kind of get away and wanted to start his own hermitage elsewhere. And so for whatever reason, he ended up deciding to go to France to try to find some of that solitude and peace. And so he set his way over there, and he got quite remote and kind of really on the middle of a forest. He ended up becoming secluded and living a peaceful life and having a pretty substantial garden actually in the middle of nowhere, and had a lot of experience with herbs and became kind of famous for a number of healings that he had for people in the area. And it got to be where quite a few travelers would come to try to find him in this garden. And he became known for it to the point where he actually ended up having to go to his bishop and request more land, because this garden was becoming quite a thing. So whether you have a garden to quite that degree, or it's just a tiny little plot where you have one or two little items, a few tomatoes or your herbs or some flowers, tulips coming up right now and the lilies are popping too. But if you're a farmer in a huge field and you're planting your seeds right now for your corn, soybeans, other row crops, whatever have you, I hope the very best for you this spring and in this rest of this planting season. And I wish a wonderful rest of the spring and summer as we go ahead and get to watch these plants grow up through the soil from our seeds, and for anything pre-existing, get to see new blooms, new growth. It's just wonderful to see. And I know some of you livestock guys that have spring calving and lambing, that's this time of year as well. And there's always new rebirth, new growth that we get to witness, and it's always a beautiful thing. So I think that's what I'm just kind of feeling right now, is just the beauty of life and the beauty of new growth coming out, whether it's in our gardens or whether it's in the animals around us or even in our own households. So once again, I hope you enjoyed this little tidbit about Saint Fiacre, and we'll catch you again next week. God bless.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Soil and Soul, and we hope that it blesses you. Please stay tuned during the week for the other daily shows that we offer as part of this special ministry project we're providing during the peak seasons of planting and harvest. Also, if you'd like to find out more about Catholic Passage, how you might collaborate with us, or even support our mission, please visit us at CatholicPassage.com. Most importantly, you can support us with your prayers. We'll be praying for you. Please pray for us.